easily have, it came off the post, could easily have gone in, but I don't think White saw it until late. Here we go. There's Espinosa on the ball now, and there's the shot, and you can see White just standing there until it came past the defender.
Hickey trying to go round Pearce. Well done by Dean Mackay. But yeah, the ball was already heading for the post before White made the dive. And just an inch, and it could have gone in for number 3. There's Ricardo Espinosa.
Yes, he looks quite happy. He's had a great effort, great game today. And that would have just kept it up for him. But White, good reflex save when it finally did happen. As the wind starts gusting in behind us.
It's quite cold up here, isn't it?
The sun's gone as well.
Hope the rest of the staff are nice and cosy in the van. There's Iman. The wind really does start to pick up at the backs of the central team.
And we have a little altercation there, just off camera. And referee Roebuck's going to have a talk to Edwards and Jason New. Jason New doesn't look too impressed.
Well, it hasn't happened very often that they find themselves behind in a match at this stage anyway. Used to winning. They've won 12 of 14 this season. Just the 2 losses to Waitakere and Mount Wellington so far. As the referee again blows for the challenge. This time it was Bruce Hill. Disley trying to hold off 2, but the numbers outfox him. Boylan does well to turn it back down to Dean Mackay. This time Jason New read that well.
All Central are going to have to watch it here. They just seem to be losing it occasionally in some of these tackles. Pressure may be getting to them.
15 minutes remaining at Endeavour Park, and Western Suburbs, the 2 goals from Duncan Edwards, leading the North Island League runaway leaders, Central by 2-0. Nice play by Stewart. The pass, however, wasn't as good as the turn. And things just getting a bit scrappy in the centre of the park. And there's a lazy pass from Hill, another lazy pass from Edwards. Hickey keeps it down and fires it into the heart of the Suburbs defence. Lots of encouragement coming from the central bench.
Time's against them though, and if they're going to get each chance of getting anything out of this, Gordon, they've got to score in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
And that comes from a Manchester United fan. He scored 2 goals in injury time in the European Cup final.
As soon as I said that, I realised what I'd done.
Difficult ball for Hill to keep, and lovely skill from Noah Hickey. But no one else in the yellow shirt able to take advantage. Stevens had time to hold on to that one.
Yes, there was a call of hold too, but Stevens obviously didn't bother with it.
Here's De Jong. And he's just, couldn't have been far offside, but just enough for the assistant to flag. Oh, and if Espinosa had continued his run down the left, the header from Keskic, which wasn't too convincing, could have left him in. Nice skills from Boylan. Keskic, who had an opportunity to level things up in this match, but put his shot woefully wide. And Espinosa just down holding his ankle, his calf. He's off the field, so they'll have to be able to play on. Espinosa comes back onto play. Disley holds it up. Can't get round Allman, but Disley would be quite happy to keep things down in that part of the field.
Yes, this is the end of the ground that Suburbs want to play it now, of course. Time running out for Central. It's at the wrong end for them. And that sort of epitomises the day, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think Central may wish that they had been fogged in Auckland with North Shore. North Shore due to be down in Wellington to play Olympic this afternoon, but couldn't get out of Auckland. And Central, who were on the same flight as North Shore but bumped onto an early one, did manage to get out. They'll probably wish they'd stayed at home. Still 11 minutes left in the game though. Still plenty of time to make a real finish to the game. Substitution. It'll be Western Suburbs. It's Duncan Edwards, the man who's scored 2 goals, going off. And Tony Falvino will be coming on for Western Suburbs.
Well, Suburbs ringing the changes into the last 10 minutes. They'll want the fresh legs on. Perhaps they didn't want to give the match ball away.
And Falvino coming over to this left-hand side and Espinosa swapping to the right. 10 minutes to go. Western Suburbs lead Central by 2-0. Boylan wasn't going to let that ball get past him, and Stevens is well offside.
Yes, he certainly knew it too, because as soon as the ball headed his way, he looked over his shoulder just to see Kevin Moffat with his flag up.
Here's De Jong, a chance for Central, but just dragging it wide.
And he gets a pat on the head from Boylan saying tough luck, come back again. But
well, that could have changed the complexion of the match if that had gone in.
Fred did well to get there, did well to get the shot in.
De Jong to Erlovic. Full forward, Aliaga, Erlovic and Hickey at the far post. Hickey back across goal for Aliaga. And Boylan, cool as you like.
Oh, good skills.
Pearce just giving up the free kick for the attempted challenge on the ball, which put Vuksic off. De Jong dropping deep to get himself involved. Aliaga with some space. Disley. Iman. Easthope. To Disley, the playmaker for Western Suburbs. Into Stevens. Chance for Mike Stevens. Good play by West. Good effort from Stevens.
It was that man Disley again though, wasn't it, Gordon? He started all down here on halfway and just controlled the play, directed things around. There's Diz now, and he's had a superb game yet again.
Redenton. He's really pushed up more in the second spell, Redenton. New with a nice header across to Keskic. De Jong, too high for Aliaga, that's allowed West back in again. Fronted up by Vuksic this time. Lovely skills from Hickey. Redenton is forward for Central. De Jong coming to join him. Hickey goes to his own. Redenton! Oh, and he just needed an extra couple of inches. Maybe Fred De Jong would have turned that in.
Well, I just wonder if that had happened at the other end, whether it would have gone in, because that's how it seems to have gone today. Suburbs have seemed to have popped those ones away. Redenton, superb run from Mike Redenton to get up there. There's Hickey, took Stewart on, too quick for Stewart, got the crossover, and Redenton at the far post. Great run by the fullback to get up there.
Well, still 7 minutes remaining, so Central are still in this match because a 2-goal lead is a dangerous lead. Well, the referee hasn't pulled his book out as yet, so there's been a few vigorous challenges in this match, but as yet nobody's got in the book.
Oh, that always worries me when I hear a big long whistle like that. I expect him to point to the spot, but he's pointed to the opposite direction, and a free kick for some reason.
Pulled that up for, I think, Aliaga pushing, but Aliaga was developing into the meat and the sandwich between Stewart and Mackay, I think. But the referee has kept the notebook in his pocket in this game.
Yes, he's had opportunity to flash a few cards today, but he hasn't bothered. That's his choice. He's tried to play the advantage very well today, Simon, when the players have allowed him to.
So approaching the final 5 minutes of the game, and it's been a match to remember for Western Suburbs. They've played very, very well, worked very hard for each other, and got 2 very good goals early in the second spell. Redenton looking for De Jong. Stewart's the man who wins the ball, however. Erlovic to Hickey. And couldn't steady himself, Noah Hickey, and just pushed it wide of the goal.
Well, Fred de Jong has got up there all day and just has made the play, hasn't he? I haven't really seen anybody actually marking him, Gordon. They just haven't bothered to put anyone on him, have they?
Well, he's quite a difficult player to mark because he drops off the defence very well and drops into those holes in midfield and picks up the ball. Here's the new man, Falvino. Now here's De Jong. Nice touch to Erlovic. A chance for Central, but another case of summing up the day for Central United, and Matthew Erlovic unable to get a shot on goal.
Well, Matthew got into great position then, but just couldn't quite control that last touch.
Disley. Espinosa on the right. Here's Disley with a good run. Lovely play into Iman. Tarek Iman. It's number 3. It is number 3. Well played again. Martin Disley had a hand in that goal.
Yes, well, that was well finished. Well finished indeed. But Disley again in the lead up to it. Central look absolutely shell-shocked out in the middle here. They can't believe this. Here's the replay. We go down the far side with Espinosa, the good crossover, Disley in beautiful space, the chip over, and there's Iman with the finish. Good stuff. Poor old David White, he's picked the ball out of the net 3 times today.
Well, it's convincing now, isn't it? 3-0. And Central really been taught a lesson this afternoon by Western Suburbs. This will be the best game that Western Suburbs have played this season.
Well, it's certainly the best game I've watched. And they're really maturing now, this Western Suburbs side.
I think I'd have to pick this as the best game of the season I've seen too, Graham. There was 9 goals in the Olympic Lower Hutt game, but apart from the 9 goals, it was a scrappy old affair. And this has been a very, very good game of football.
Well,
here's another ball through to Iman. Another chance for Western Suburbs. Iman on Jason New, and Jason New does well to shut out the opportunity. Here's Iman. To Disley. Pulling the strings, Martin Disley. Falvino. Good ball in to Stevens. Yeah, it just gets worse for Central this afternoon. Hill to Aliaga. Boylan trying to make up the mistake. Here's a chance for Erlovic. And if one player makes a mistake, there's another Western Suburbs player there to tidy up. This time it was Greg Stewart. The points are going to stay in Wellington this afternoon. Boylan, just 2 minutes remaining in the game. And Western Suburbs just taking it easy now.
Yeah, they'll try and soak up a bit of time here, Gordon, and just a clean sheet would be an absolute bonus for them. The win will be magnificent, but the clean sheet will just make their day.
And I still can't think of a really difficult save that Greg Parrish has had to make. He's had a pretty cruisy afternoon in the Western Suburbs goal. Boylan, lovely play from Western Suburbs. Disley looking to go through, and that would be an ample reward for Martin Disley if he could get his name on the score sheet this afternoon. He's pulled the strings for Western Suburbs.
I think we said last week on Sportsnet, Gordon, that it was the Disley Boylan show. Well, it's no different today, is it?
Oh, lovely play by Pearce, just snuffs out the danger with Hickey was getting in behind him, and he just loses his footing, Noah Hickey. So 90 minutes almost up at Endeavour Park. Western Suburbs leading Central by 3 goals to 0.
Everybody from Western Suburbs wanting the ball, Gordon. They're all calling.
Erlovic. Vuksic tried it from a long way out, trying to catch Parrish off his line, but the radar wasn't on for Matthew Vuksic, and the referee has been given the signal from the assistant that there's a minute remaining, so you can safely assume now that the points are staying in Wellington. And as you said, Graham, West would love to keep a clean sheet as Hickey runs at them again. And that'll be a goal kick.
Parrish enjoying the moment, obviously.
Well, I've certainly been surprised by that, because Greg Parrish has probably had one of the easiest afternoons of the North Island League season.
In a game he probably expected to have his worst day, work-wise.
Balvino. Oh, and Disley just losing out this time. Stevens touching it down to Disley. Maybe a chance for West to increase their lead. It's 3-0 at the moment. Here's Espinoza against Hill. Espinoza turning Hill one way and the other. The cross comes in, a chance for Stevens. And number 4 for Western Suburbs, and it's a rout now.
Well, oh dear, what do you say? 4-0, who would have picked that? I'm glad this wasn't one of the TAB Pools games today, because I'd have lost it. Here we go, here's Espinoza, turns him inside out down the far side. Bruce Hill didn't know which way to go. Jason New got a head on, but all that did was get it in the way, and what a great finish for Western Suburbs.
So Mike Stevens, who scored in the 4-1 loss at Central earlier in the season, has got his name on the score sheet once again. And it's a dejected Central United side now as they kick off probably, well, we say for the final time. I'm sure they didn't expect to kick off 5 times in this match. The 4 goals and the to restart play. Here's Erlovic. De Jong. And good play from Greg Stewart. Lovely, confident play by the defender back to Greg Parrish. And there's still a bit of time as the free kick is given for the challenge by Stevens. The referee's having a word with someone.
Just telling Jason New to get on with the game, I think.
New does get on with the game. Stewart launching it forward. That'll be easy for David White. And there goes the final whistle. So an outstanding victory for Western Suburbs today. 2 goals from Duncan Edwards, 1 from Tarek Iman and Mike Stevens, all in the second spell. And the Western Suburbs have beaten the runaway leaders of the North Island Soccer League, Central United, at Endeavour Park this afternoon by 4 goals to 0.
On Golf Central, the stories change every day.
And the Golf Central team brings it all to you.
Golf news.
Where Western Suburbs, just 15 goals in total this season, Have beaten the runaway leaders Central by 4-0, and it really was an upset ground, but West played very well.
Well, I'm not going to play on the upset too much because I want to go up to the club rooms after this, but it was an upset, yes. We expected a fast, exciting game. We certainly got it. I didn't expect West to win by 4-0 against a pretty slick Central outfit, but I got the impression today when Central went down a couple of goals, they didn't respond at all well to the pressure, Gordon, and that disappointed me just a little bit.
I would pick that as the game of the season we've seen this year on Sportsnet.
Oh, it certainly is, and of course the season hasn't finished yet. We're going to see a lot more games as well, but so far, yes, that'd have to be number one.
And good to see West working very hard for each other.
They're playing very well as a unit. They seem to have a whole team effort in place at the moment. Disley's done a great job with the team, and isn't his play superb? Again, I think it was the Disley-Boylan show all over again, just like last week.
Well, let's hear what the two captains had to say about today's match. Bet you didn't expect 4-0.
No, that was the last thing we expected today. You know, we thought we'd be very competitive even with the loss of our 5 all-weights. And, you know, it's just the way the game went. We had some chances in the first half and they finished well in the second. So, you know, at the end of the day, the team that did 100% on the field won, and that well-deserved win by them as well.
Yeah, you've got a number of outstanding players coming into the side as well, but losing 5 international players was a big loss.
Oh, it is a big loss, but it's no excuse because, like you say, the players that have come in have got the calibre to replace those other all-whites that we have lost. So at the end of the day, you know, we should have done better. We're very disappointed, but, you know, next week's another week. We've got Chatham Cup next week against Waitakere, and we've got to, you know, win at least 4 of the last games. So, you know, we've got it all ahead of us, and so it should be a good challenge for us.
I suppose you're not very happy, but it'll probably put a smile on the faces of some other teams around the country that maybe this North Island Soccer League's not so one-sided.
Yeah, it had to happen sooner or later. We couldn't continue the way we were. You know, the odds were stacked against us, but, you know, we've still got a bit of a buffer there, and, you know, I still expect to be lifting that cup at the end of the year.
Great result, Terry.
Great result. I don't come much better than this, actually. The leaders of the league, and yeah, we produced a big one today. It's really good.
Is that the best West have played this season?
I'd say so. We supported each other, played better, worked as a unit much better, and finally finished off some goals, got more than 2.
Well, as I was saying, because they'd scored 53 and you'd scored something like 15 going into this game, and to get 4, huge surprise.
Huge surprise. The strikers in there are quite happy. I think the delivery was much better today. The all-round performance of the team, it was a team effort. It was unbelievable.
And you've got Chatham Cup next week and you're on a bit of a roll. That's 3 on the trot, isn't it?
I think it's 3, yeah. Well, 2. 2, yeah. We've had 2 on the trot, but it's all on the day. And if we prepare like we did today and show the same eagerness and what have you, yeah, anything can happen, and it did today.
Was it the fact you were playing the league leaders, Central United, that G'd the team up?
Yeah, it was. Well, we were expected to lose. We were expected to be on a hiding to none with it. Even if they're all-whites, we're away, they're 5 all-whites. Everyone was expecting us to lose, and yeah, we surprised ourselves, I think, too, yeah.
Well, that's it from Endeavour Park this afternoon, where we've seen an outstanding North Island Soccer League match with Western Suburbs running out 4-goal winners, 4-0 over Central United. Stay with Sportsnet for the very best in local sports action, and we'll be back with you very soon.
The race to Manchester is on in the world's biggest under-15 football tournament. Over 9,000 teams enter the competition, but only one will be crowned Manchester United Premier Cup champions on the hallowed turf of Old Trafford. In this programme, we meet some of the young players